Hello and welcome back today with a bit of a different The Warning content. As you probably seen in the description already, we're gonna watch the whole Mayday in the Making documentary, which I'm looking forward to because it gives me a break from the music, because music is still something different, and I can also have a look behind the scenes and on the people who create this music and also the people around them, by the way, which I already have a lot of info from you guys, but I also want to see it firsthand. That's the thing. We're gonna get right into it. I just want to have a quick addition to brief, and also um, I don't want to say the lack of videos in the last days, but still there were less videos than before. Yeah, just a quick word on that. Uh, Brief is an amazing song, and some people recommended to do Black Holes and Brief back to back. And I have to say, and I wrote under some comments already, that I barely made it through Brief. If Black Holes if is anything like Brief in terms of how emotional it makes me, I that would have been impossible. I couldn't after Brief. I didn't do anything anymore. So just to clarify that. But I think I will still be able to appreciate Black Holes when I get to it. Um, yeah, in terms of videos and frequency, I did a little bit too much the last weeks. I mean, I learned of the warning from comments in under my Japanese themed travel, which I tried to also do in addition to all the other stuff I wanted to do. So I want to stick to the plan and do one video a day. There's of course going to be a lot of warning because they're warning. Let's keep it, yeah, focused. A lot of the warning because yeah, I fell into the hole very deep. But also I want to cover all the other stuff. I want to cover new songs. I want to do my projects like the Electric Callboy Journey, which is just a hard project for me. Yeah, I want to do new stuff. I want to do bands I have, which I don't get to too much at the moment. I also wanted to do a full album listen of the new Spiritbox, but having 1 hour to listen through the whole album and concentrate on it is hard at the moment. So, and I want this channel to be sustainable because I really like doing this, and I hope you enjoy it as well. So I don't want to do it 2 months and then it's over because I can't do it anymore because I overdid it. Which is now the final point. As I said in brief, I'm recovering from a burnout, and the problem with that is, as you get better, you get to a stage where you're not really all right, but you feel all right. So and you want to do stuff, you want to do a lot, but you're not there. You're not to back to your former self, and maybe never will be. But this is a dangerous time, and the only thing you can do is through learning about the condition to read the warning signals. And one is that I was absolutely okay. Let's go, let's go. I want to see this. I want to see this, and I want to do everything all at once, which could relapse me very fast. Which is why I'm gonna try to stick to one video a day. So yeah, health first. But yeah, that said, I'm looking forward to Mayday in the Making and learning more about this wonderful band and everything behind them. So less talking and more listening. Also, the other problem is I don't have enough time to do anything else I should do. And this video alone, like just the documentary, is going to be half an hour. I'm going to do some talking in between because otherwise it wouldn't really be a reaction in a way, especially if it's not music. With music, it's sometimes okay to not talk at all, but I think with stuff like that, I want to add something, to add some value, which I hopefully can do. And yeah, so that means it's already probably 45 minutes, something like that. So yeah, it takes a lot of time, which I enjoy, but still. it's an issue. Okay, so Made in the Making. I hope it's alright that I start with this one, but I think I will get a lot of background info of that. I also really want to do the 2-hour baking video of Paulina because I right now I really can imagine how that would be. And I love cooking. I hate baking, but I think everything that has to do with food I'm in. So yeah, really looking forward to that as well. So let's go. So if you just seen a cut, I think yeah, my headphones were not working, so I had to cut that, and now we start. Just for clarification. So
Pelo bien.
Primero,
We are ready.
el nombre o de que los nombres individuales y luego la banda o al
No.
revés?
Okay.
Okay.
No. Hi, we're the Warning.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
that makes a lot of
Oh, the chaos. Yeah, I got the subtitles on. I don't know how much will be in Spanish or in English, but I hope for more English, of course. And this is the loudest I can put it. Wait, maybe I can make it louder for you at least. I hope that works.
Hi, I'm Daniela.
I'm Paulina. I'm Alejandra.
And we are The Warning.
And I think that was like 3-4 years ago that this was released.
This third album, I can honestly say with a lot of confidence, is that it's the best thing that we've ever done.
The new album, how to describe it?
Oh, that is Rudy. You said Joffre with a H. You say it like an H, right?
It's The Warning on steroids.
They can all play their instruments like no one I've ever seen. If you listen to this album, you know this is a rock band. It's not a female rock band or a young rock band. This is a rock band.
That is very nice, because I think that's an important thing. A lot of people would like to use gimmicks just to get an advantage, but if you strip away the old female thing, which probably some people use as a gimmick, which I think is not important. Important is what stays if you strip away the gimmick. And they are just a brilliant rock band who know what they do and are crazy good.
And then they brought the demos. I was like, you guys are kidding me. It's like, do you ever write?
Okay, so I get a bit of a tease to new songs I haven't heard yet. Whatever song that was in the background already got me going. Oh my god.
A bad song. It's at another level. The Warning at another level.
Working on the album with David and Rick was a little bit nerve-wracking at first because we know what we want to hear.
I was really nervous that David was gonna be like, no, I hate all of this and let's do something different.
Oh my god.
We were
Oh no.
prepared to fight over our songs.
We literally told them, like, we are super picky. Picky.
That's how they should be with their own stuff, right? You hear a lot of rumors of bands who get just changed by the producers and everything. I don't know who they are. Probably they're probably well known in the industry. I don't know who they are. So if you know, please just enlighten me. Maybe they will say it in the video anyways, but still. But this can be an interesting dynamic of them. The old guys who have been there since years and know what they're doing, with the young upcoming rock band who will, as they said, fight for their songs. I love it.
You see how far you can push day one. And you started to talk about a song I didn't like. I said, I don't like this song. And I had 3 girls right up in my face. I get it. And they talk in Spanish.
It's somewhere between like the buddy system and gang mentality, in my opinion. You know, they
Yeah, you don't fuck with them. But I had the like since the first song, I had the idea like, I mean, you can try to fight, but you will probably not win, right?
they travel in a pack.
Like a gang of lionesses circling the prey.
I think that if we were not sisters, like this would have fallen apart so quickly.
Having three
Makes
girls
sense.
being amazing, talented musicians at such a young age, and then having those three girls be sisters and so connected, that doesn't happen.
I can't believe they're my daughters. Like, one moment that happened.
So these are the parents, the famous parents who made it all work and just gave all to support their daughters. Yeah, nothing but respect, to be honest.
How?
Being in a band with your family is great. We experience everything as a family that it'd be weird like to experience it alone and then come to my family like, oh my god, this happened. No, it's like a thing. It happened to all of us. It always happens to all of us.
I'm used to being in a room for 3 months with a band. This instance, I've never experienced it before. I've never had the parents in the studio. And then their manager came.
And from what I know, their father is a sound engineer as well, right? Which also explains the studio they had in their like the Warning Cave in their basement. Because you can't just buy that with money. You need someone with know-how to put all that together. And yeah, you can see that. There was so many things that came together that made this possible and this fairy tale reality, right? Because the parents are a big part of that because they sacrificed stuff for them. They showed them because as far as I seen in the comments that the parents were fan of rock music and probably introduced them. There was the game Rock Band, which came out at a time where it was perfect to teach their daughters how fun it is to play. And I think this plays a huge part, right? Because that's what got them into it.
Now I've got the Guardians. I definitely didn't get to be me because I usually swear like a trooper and say all sorts of inappropriate things in the studio because nobody's filming me usually.
Oh my god.
I've never experienced anything like that, and I probably never will again the rest of my career.
You know, they're going to get where they want to go. They strike me as workaholics, and they're on a mission. I mean, this is their dream, this is their destiny, and they're going to do it.
Their best work yet. And that's not just because they're our daughters.
It's an amazing feeling. A big accomplishment for them.
I mean, they've been through David Bendeth boot camp.
Yep.
Is it wrong?
By the way, a bit of
I mean, they've been through David Bendeth boot camp.
guitar stuff here. He's probably putting the finger there. He could bend the note she's playing, but probably a problem you have with a lot of. I mean, you can have it with every guitar basically, but I somehow with the Les Paul models, I had it a lot. I have two of them myself, one ESP and one Gibson. That while recording, you have a noise there, and that comes from the part at the guitar head, where the strings are going over the fretboard, and it's a weird thing. Usually, you can also put like tape around it or something to not make that swing, that part of the string. You know, that's probably why he has the finger there. By the way.
Yep.
Is it wrong?
Or he did it just for fun, but this is my experience with that stuff.
I have never been so on time.
This does sound more like a synth.
Going once, going twice.
My God. Oh, that voice.
What a performance. Beautiful, beautiful.
He says it all. He says it. Yes!
Special voice you have. I hold
That's the guy with the special voice, by the way. I was thinking that since he started talking.
a certain standard to the records I make. Of course, they've almost earned a rite of passage in the sense that they played on their record everything.
That's all them, you know. They did it, they played it, they killed it.
When we started working with David, we just took it to like a whole new level. And we're so happy with the result. And just super, super excited for it to be public and for people to listen to it and hear what people have got to say. Because I am so proud of what we did. So proud. Hello?
So, and I just realized that. So it is for the Mayday EP. I have no clue which songs are on there. I just know Hell You Call Name is from their new album, right? So.
I am Paulina Villarreal. I am 18 years old. I am the drummer for the band The Warning. My name
18.
is Villarreal. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico, and I'm the bass player for the band The Warning.
I'm Daniela Villarreal. I am the guitar player and lead singer of The Warning. So, The Warning came to be in a very early
Nice. Nice. Now we get some background. Oh, how it all began. Perfect. I was waiting for that, really.
stage of our lives.
Oh my
We started
God.
playing classical piano at a very young age. I think I was 6 and Pau was around 4.
It was a family environment of music.
We started playing the piano when we were very young. We started with like classical music. And then we bought this video game, Rock Band, the Rock Band.
The Rock Band.
Rock band.
It is so cool. I mean, like it started with Guitar Hero, right? With the play guitars, and then they expanded it to Rock Band. I think not the same company, but still the same principle, right? And that was popular for quite some time. And I mean, that was all worth it just for this one band to happen. And hopefully a few other people started getting connection to music with Rock Band as well. But what happened there is magic.
When we bought the game, that was the moment when we were like, hey, we want to do that.
We absolutely
I so
loved
love that.
that video game. We played it all the time. I would just be like jumping around with my guitar. Pau would never let me play the drums because that was her thing and she was super good at it and I was just like, no.
When we bought the game, I noticed Paulina, and she was like, like with so much coordination, and I told her like, look at Paulina.
But you need to take into account that I was like 6 years old at that time.
Like next week, Paulina was in lessons.
The thing with Dani was she wanted the guitar because of the Rock Band, but we knew that it was gonna be difficult for her because she was 8 years old.
I asked my dad if I could play the guitar and he was like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. And he said 6 months. And by the week I wanted to give up.
Although I want to say they started with piano, right? And I always endorse for kids. Like I wish I had learned piano early, because I think you get the best idea of music in general, because you have both. You have the right hand that plays rhythm and the chords, and you also have the right hand usually left. It doesn't matter, but you get a lot of coordination from the piano. You have easy success in the beginning because it's basically just pressing a button. With guitar, just to have one straight note coming out of the guitar, you have to adjust the left hand, usually left hand if you're right-handed, to oh my god, this is so difficult in English. I'm so sorry. Yeah, to tip on a note, and then you have the right hand that has to be that also needs a lot of technique to really produce a fine sound out of it. Same with a violin. Like put a kid, give a kid a violin, just say press here and do that, and it will sound horrible, and the kid will probably explode and be like, no, that's no fun. With a piano, you can basically just press a button and there will be a solid note coming out of there, which is super good if you want to start learning something. I think guitar playing is easier in the end versus playing piano, but I think to start it's way harder. That makes sense. Like keeping the motivation up. And I think that's what she's saying here, right? Just go 5 seconds
And
back.
he said 6 months. And by the week, I wanted to give up.
See? That's the problem.
Promise. And by that time, she already started to love.
I was about 3 when we got the Rock Band, so I didn't actually play. She was a baby. And basically, when we were playing Rock Band, and I was clapping next to us. I picked the bass when I was about like 6 or 7, and I was like, ooh, I want to play that. Don't know what it is, but I want to play it. And when she started playing the bass, we started like thinking like, hey, these instruments, like we can play them together. We were
That is
like,
so
oh,
cool. That is
these
so cool.
3 instruments actually make up a band. So we're like, we can start playing together.
We said like, why? We should play something together.
And it's so perfect that there was no like, no, but I want to play the guitar. No, but I want to play the drums. Or at least it doesn't sound like it. That everything just fits perfectly. So the 2 older sisters were kind of like, okay, we got this thing going, and the young sister just to, okay, I want to be part of it, and this is a cool instrument, so I'm gonna go there and play the bass, which is so amazing.
And that was it.
We had no idea that we were gonna do what we're doing today, like at all.
For us, the decision to upload videos on YouTube was just like, we're gonna send it to our grandparents, the file's too big, let's upload it on YouTube and send them the link.
But suddenly they started getting a lot of attention.
Amazing.
All of a sudden, it exploded.
Our parents really reminded us that like this was for the music and we could use that to start writing our own music. I think that was something that caused such a huge change in us, from just like, let's play for fun, to like, whoa, we're a band now.
Not everything comes without its sacrifices. It was tons and tons of practice.
Suddenly, you're not just a normal little teenager who goes to school, does her homework. You're playing shows. You're playing.
That is a topic I really want to know more about it, because I think it's an interesting one, because I know people who now are still they're on a top level of playing music and in the instruments, like world class. I mean, I'm from Austria, and we're one of the countries with the most classical music history, like Mozart, Bach, Strauss. I know not everyone was Austrian, but still, like the whole thing, Austria and classical music is just entwined. And so I know a few people who really, really good at playing their instruments, but I also had deeper talks with some of them, and the amount of work they had to put in since they were very, very little came with a huge price, and this was their social life. And with some of them, you really can tell how that affected them, that they can play insane stuff on the piano or on the violin or whatever, but human interaction is something that doesn't come easy to them, because they spent the years where I was don't know out playing with my friends, having fun, just being a kid. That didn't happen to them to such an extent, because they were always practicing. And yeah, I wonder how they did it. But at least they had something they did together, and supportive parents who seem like very, very nice people who wouldn't push their children to do that.
in festivals and you're playing in front of a lot of people. Something that maybe
They were
like, a
so
lot of
small.
people my age take for granted, like going to parties, going to school, even like people who like, oh my god, I need to wake up at like 6 a.m. and go to school every day, was something that like we couldn't do.
And I appreciate the support of my parents and all that they had to go through to get us to this point, because for them, it was just as hard.
As a parent, you never know which one is the right path. We wanted to support them, like any parent, just try to give them what makes them happy.
We usually compare it, what we're doing and what is happening and what could have happened. But as we started playing more shows and as more people started to show up, especially like at an international level, it was like that's where it really settled in. Like, whoa, like this is for real. We are so grateful that we have the opportunity to be playing these shows, working this way, writing music. Like all these opportunities don't happen to a lot of people.
Thanks to all of that and all the sacrifice that we put through as a team, and not only us but our parents and our management, everyone is just so incredible, and I'm very grateful not only that we did it but that we were able to overcome it.
Ooh, okay.
If we weren't in a band,
If we weren't in music in general, because we always get out of that question like, oh, it would be a song right now. Like, what would you do out of music?
Honestly, I think I would be a teacher.
A teacher.
A teacher.
No, you would be such a good boss.
You'd be a oh,
good-
thanks.
Yeah. I would like to write. Yeah, I'd be a good
You
writer.
would be a writer.
I would have to do
Definitely.
something creatively. I couldn't. Yeah, no, like a job office. I honestly have no idea.
I think you
Something,
would be a
something.
good model.
Ah, sure.
Yeah.
Not really good at posing, but you know,
You'd be a
could
good
work-
model.
I could work on You that. got the height, so. you got the face.
You can just see the sibling dynamic they have. That makes it so fun to watch everything they do.
Describe each other. Okay, let's do Pal first.
Creative.
Outspoken.
She's a spark.
She can also be a bit loud,
It's the life of the party.
energetic.
A great drummer, great singer.
She really drives what's happening.
She goes completely on passion.
Pal is such a fan of music.
Drummer, singer, writer, composer.
Alpha, right in your face.
Drummers are always special people. I've never met a drummer who wasn't, in a way, really special. Different. Not always in a good way, but also not in a bad way. Drummers are a special breed.
She's so lovable.
I'm gonna take everything as a compliment. You. How would I describe myself though?
LA is so humble and so talented. She's technically incredible.
She can hang with the best of them.
Very bold.
She's observant and very persistent.
You are scary at times, but that is very useful.
Yo, Allie
And it's very useful. What?
reserved, but to be honest, she may be the most animated.
You, Danny, you're very organized.
Older sister, protector. The same as she asks of herself, which is a lot, she asks of the team.
Disciplined, persistent.
She's a sweetheart.
She's honestly super nice. Like, I don't know how she does it.
She's the heart.
Very, very passionate.
She's a boss.
Danny is a powerhouse front woman.
I mean, she's up there with the top voices of female rockers.
The beacon of
Of all rockers.
light in the darkness.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And I'm scary. Jumping from covers to like writing our own music I think it came very naturally.
Pau has been writing songs since she was like, I don't know, maybe even 5. We would be like, I don't know, making lemonade. She was like, making lemonade.
We started writing as like a little experiment, and our first EP was basically those little experiments.
Our main focus for writing is rock and roll, but that doesn't mean that we don't listen or learn from any other genres.
I think it's a very cool thing and point that I myself learned way too late in my life, which probably has to do with that they were still children. As they said, the first EP was just them trying to do stuff, but they did it. They just produced stuff and put it out, and that's amazing. Because I think if you get older, when you get older, you tend to overthink and stuff like that. Not everybody has the problem, but they learned something very important very early in their life, and it came naturally, maybe because they were so young. And yeah, that got them where they are now.
I listen to a lot of K-pop, and I also listen to a lot of Japanese rock since it's so different. I listen to a lot of...
I mean, I know there is the collaboration between The Warning and Bandmate, and I'm looking forward to that. So I wonder how that connection came to be.
Of classical music, I listen to a lot of alternative music. I listen to a lot of K-pop.
I love
Why is there always K-pop in there? When did K-pop become such a thing?
rock and roll for its energy, and I wouldn't change that for our band. But it's great also to learn from all the different types of music that there's all around the world.
Good. I really liked it. The chorus is really good, and I think that one of the best things about this is that you put really quick melodies that go up and down very quickly, and in like Korean language, like that works so well because they have like so many like syllables. God, esto es súper padre, qué emoción.
Creatively, it's
What?
all them. The way they work is they start writing and composing, and then they get together, then they rehearse, and they don't show us anything.
As for what we speak about in our songs, well, most of the times they come from Pau's brain, and we're just like, that's genius, and we kind of tweak it out and make the song appropriate to that feeling that we're talking about.
I like that they write it together, but only the three of them, without someone interfering. There is, like in every professional band, there will be producers coming in, but the best producers don't really change much. They just see a bit where they would say, okay, here maybe don't use the tom, use the snare, for example, or don't use this chord but this chord, and it will change the dynamic. And since they would fight for the songs, as they said, they would be open for that, but probably also, if they don't like it, they won't do it. And it's pretty cool that they have this three people force behind that.
So I usually just sit on the piano and I just play something until something comes out. And then I show Danny and Ali the song. I try to pitch it as best as I can. So they're like, oh my god, that's a great song, let's work on it.
Pau's the one who has like that muscle, that creativity to just like create little words out of nowhere.
We start working on it. We start adding the drums, the guitars, the bass, and we're all very involved in that process.
By the way, this is where knowing how to play the piano really comes in handy, because maybe with just the drums, you won't have that much musical theory knowledge, you know? But playing the piano, you can basically write anything.
And it's really fun because I know I play the bass, but I don't do my bass parts alone. Like, Paul helps me and Danny helps me, and it's the same for the drums, the vocals, and the guitars.
Since we are very, very opinionated, we like to be in each and every part of the process. So we're doing bass lines, we're all there. Each second is important.
We're all very involved in every part of the process, which I think makes every song unique, and it sounds like us. Honestly, we get along so well, but the only moments where we have like fights is when we're writing, because we have such different opinions about what a song should be. It's up to votes. 2 people, you win.
We work really, really well because we have this honesty to our communication.
We do have like that clear line between like bandmates and sisters. You need to look at it as like what's best for the band, and not like, oh my god, like you're turning your back on me, like I'm your sister. No, like we're working.
Seeing them in the
That's one very, very important factor. And I think being sisters helps a lot with the honesty part, because they don't have to hold back their honest opinion on each other at all, because they grew up with each other and so close, and that helps a lot. I think a lot of other bands, they don't have that. They always need to be diplomatic and everything. And we had a 5-piece band, so also unequal numbers. So you would assume if it comes to a vote, it would be, okay, 3 against 2 or something like that, but always a majority. But we often had the problem that one person wanted to be too diplomatic and was like, I like this, but I also like this. So we had now 2 against 2 and 1 who was just in between. And I think with that kind of was a lack of honesty to just maybe hurt someone's feeling in the moment, but it's fine in the long run because it's a small fight, and in the end it would probably benefit the song and the band in total. And that honesty they have is something which is really, really special, and I think comes also from they know each other their whole lives because they're siblings. But yeah, they know each other their whole lives and they're siblings. So yeah.
The studio interact as bandmates and as sisters was really cool. It's just such a deeper level of connection. They know exactly what they need to do to support each other in all situations. When someone's cutting a vocal or when someone's cutting a guitar, like if it's going well or if there's hesitation, there's just like that sister connection was so cool to see that level of support.
They're sisters. I don't know how else to put it. It's like obvious that they're sisters, that they have each other's back, they finish each other's sentences, or they say the same thing at the same time.
When you're in a band, it's like you can break up. If this band were to disband, like they're still gonna be sisters, and no matter how heated or how big of a deal any of this is to any of us, I don't think it's more important than their family to them.
I'm so glad that we started writing our own music because there's like nothing that I love more.
That's what we like doing the most, inspiring people with our own music.
And I have found out that my comfort zone is writing from the heart. It's literally, if I'm feeling a very strong emotion, the song comes out.
Technology played a huge
be.
part in our band. We became known because of a YouTube video.
Social media is such a big part for us as a band, and without social media, we wouldn't have reached all those people who listen to our music right now.
I honestly don't know how they do what they do, but I know that the numbers don't lie.
When it comes to going viral at the age that they did, they've had a head start building this social media and online presence.
And I think it has had a lot to do with timing. I think back in the days when, like 10 years ago, YouTube was not that oversaturated. So, not to say that they wouldn't have made it with that. Also, as a comment stated, that Enter Sandman maybe helped them to get known earlier, but they would have made it anyways, I think. And that comment said that, and I also think so. I want to say something about social media. Never mind.
That people would pay millions to obtain.
That's an amazing thing to see. I mean, to have this type of fan dedication and loyalty.
Yeah, I think I know what I want to say. The thing about YouTube and social media gives everyone a chance to have to create an audience, and especially if you're that talented, you just need to be seen, and YouTube is a perfect platform for that. And especially was it back in the days. Because imagine that happening in the 80s, maybe. They would have need to finance everything themselves, get an EP out, and try to sell it to record labels. Just for some guy who thinks, they're too young, let's drop it. That would have been a shame, but I could totally see that happening. If you know what I mean. They maybe would have done it anyways, but still, it would have been much harder, and they would have needed to do to put more energy into all that stuff instead of just creating music, which gets too short in nowadays, I think, because if you want to have a music project that's going to be successful, you need to also be a social media influencer, probably. Same goes, by the way, for tattoo artists. You need to always play on your social media, otherwise you're invisible. And for a lot of stuff. And yeah, in the end, you just gonna do content, and the music just you don't have the time for the music anymore, which is kind of a tragedy, but they made it and they had the perfect timing, I think, and they grew up with social media, so they know it, and I think that's absolutely perfect for them.
This early is, it's really impressive.
And they have their parents, sorry for all the stopping. I need to get all the stuff out. I can't sleep anymore because there's so much in my head. There is, and it's so important that their parents got them grounded and just said, yeah, do it for the music. Do it for the music. And stay humble and be thankful for all the opportunities you got. Because it's very important, because you can see through countless Hollywood examples how being a child star can absolutely go wrong. If you don't have the family environment to secure you and keep you grounded.
Impressive, and it speaks to the fact that their music really touches people.
It does.
When you start out in music, the first thing that you think about is not really like, how am I going to manage my social media? It's the last thing that you're thinking of.
When I first met them, they had already gone viral because they were uploading videos of them doing covers and practicing music so that their grandparents could see it.
When the attention came in, it was like pretty shocking.
What we did as a team was land it with a proper strategy and a vision. We all talk about what we're doing in social media every day.
It is like a lot to do, but honestly, like it helps us a lot.
Thank you, patrons. Shout out to all of you. You are awesome.
You know, this community and friendships have been, forged all over the world.
We're always thinking of new ways to create new content for them.
And even if it just was like one person, it means something to them. That's an incredible feeling.
I think that they just feel like more responsibility to their audience, to their fans. They're constantly evolving and working more for them.
It can kind of be intimidating as our fan base grows. It's very hard not to think about what other people might think.
To think like, I kind of need to be perfect. I mean, being a woman in rock is a whole thing.
We have gone through a lot of different experiences, mostly on stage, where we would get these looks like, what are these little girls gonna do?
Like, our treatment was sometimes very...
They blow your freaking mind. That's what they do.
Very different. Like, the staff would treat you different, the bands would treat you different. I remember going at festivals when I was like 11. People would look at us like, oh, what are they gonna do here? Suddenly we started playing and everyone was just like shocked by what we did, and I was like, yeah. People really don't expect a lot out of you because they're not used to seeing women on these stages.
It is very nerve-wracking to...
Especially 10 years ago, it wasn't where it is now. If we have a look at the Grammys, I think out of... I'm not sure about the numbers now, but wasn't it 5 hard and heavy nominees, and I think 4 or 5 of them had women in them. And Gojira won the last Grammys for hard and heavy, which basically is the only category I care about. And there is no hard and heavy female category, like for best female singer, best male singer, whatever, which the mainstream categories have. But there was Spirit Box nominated. There was Poppy with Poppy was nominated. Gojira, who won, had also female singer in the song, I think. And I forgot who the others were, but that changed a lot, and especially in hard and heavy music like rock, metal, especially, they don't care about the gender anymore. They're just there, and they're present, and they're just that skilled. It really doesn't matter. It's just about music and how amazing they are, I think, at least. And yeah.
To go out in front of everyone and be that vulnerable, you see, like, this is me, this is what I do. Do you like it?
It's not easy for them being young, being female in a rock genre, and I think they're gonna bring change to that.
The most important thing in what we do is to just stay true to ourselves.
I'm really proud that this is a group of girls. I think there's so much talented female musicians out there, but historically they've been underrepresented in rock and roll. I don't really know what the reason is, but if I can be a part of helping to bring...
Yeah, they are now paving the way for that. For every new generation, that it doesn't matter anymore at all.
That energy to the forefront, then that's what I want to do.
You know, in such a male-dominated field, to see not only three women but three sisters playing rock music, it was awesome. Also, being a father of two daughters, it was inspiring to see that too. It's something I wanted them to see.
We step up our game just to prove we belong here.
Rock and roll and music in general is for everyone to enjoy.
It doesn't matter who's playing the music. If you like it and if it's good and if you think it's good, that's what matters.
They are the future of rock and roll.
Playing rock and roll, like there's no energy equal to that.
To see like all these people that are from all around the world, some of them are older, some of them are younger, how they all just connect like through the power of music.
And it's so fun to see people having fun with you. It's just like a big party.
When young girls reach out to us, it's the most satisfying
Oh, I can imagine
ever.
that.
You can feel it when people
That's so
tell
cool.
you what your music means to them. It's such an indescribable feeling.
Like when someone comes
Sorry, I
up to you
forgot.
at meet and greet and they're like, I started playing the drums because of you. Oh my God, like you feel like crying. It shows that anyone can do what we're doing.
It's easy for people to blow up on the internet and kind of not act like it's a thing, but these girls, they dedicate time every day to trying to make sure that someone in their fan group or their whole fan group has an experience.
There's so many people that follow us and listen to our music. If I am just able to keep doing what I'm doing right now and keep touching like people's hearts this way, I'm happy.
I really love what I do, and I'm very grateful that all of you have given me the chance to prove it and to be it and to share it with you.
We had never really worked with people outside of like our trusted group.
My first actual personal interaction was when I met them. They were playing 2 sold-out nights at Mercury Lounge, and I came the first night and checked it out and was so blown away. I came back the second night with Jason Flom.
Devin O'Connor, our senior A&R person at Lava, she invited me to.
By the way, I have never heard of Lava before. I mean, I mostly know metal labels, of course, but I don't know. I cannot tell how big they are.
Go to a show at the Mercury Lounge, and I think it was a cold winter's night, and I've been to the Mercury Lounge too many times in my life, but I went and my head exploded.
Going from being an independent band to a signed band is a very big change.
Because we have been independent since we started and we had been doing really well.
For years, we've always kind of seen where the band is going independently. We started seeing this growth, and we would ask ourselves, it's like, how far can we take it ourselves? And then when is it time to start searching for partners?
We just didn't want to sign with someone who would take control over our music. When Lava approached, it was just like an amazing opportunity for us.
The Warning had great touring numbers, great Spotify numbers, great social media interaction. Their fans are diehard. But first and foremost, the most important part is the music, and the music blew me away.
At Lava, we like to sign great artists. It's really a simple criteria.
When we were approached by Lava, we dove in and definitely found very clear pattern. It was the same sound and look before Jason got him than after.
When they actually reached out to us, we couldn't believe it. And me being an amazing, like a big Paramore fan, I was just like,
Oh. Okay, then it's quite big. I get it. And being in the same label than a band you really admire is really cool. And it also, I don't know if they had it already, but opens up feature opportunities and everything. So that would be a cool feature.
wow, Jason Blum just got, oh wow.
But when we started talking with Lava, we clicked. We were on the same page. I knew that this was the step that we had to take, that we would be able to be on another level now.
It took a long time.
We were negotiating for 7 months.
Perfect. That's what you should do. And it also means that you're not in there for the money, just for the money, because otherwise you would just go for quick money and who cares about rights? But that's what you always should do. Never sign a contract just like that. Get a lawyer involved, someone who knows the genre, the thing, the field in which that contract is made, so music industry. And By the way, that's not me talking. It's what I learned in university. So yes, do just that. Never sign the first contract, except you're taking 7 months of negotiations.
But we finally did it.
Signing with Lava was like a game changer for us.
Complete game changer.
When we signed, it was it was just such a big relief.
And now, with the whole Lava team behind us, I feel super powerful.
Honestly, I am so grateful.
We're this super strong team.
Being the first rock band in Latin American history to sign with a US major record label definitely has to be my proudest moment, and every grain of sand that I contributed to that is something that I'll cherish forever. That's one for the books.
Ever since we signed, we've gotten like so many opportunities. Like we got to record our 3rd album during a pandemic.
With the power of a record label, we can make songs for different artists. We can get our songs in movies or anything. Like the possibilities are endless. Our earliest goals for the band, like we're gonna learn this song and we're gonna rock it. We're gonna be on time. I mean, those are still goals. But as we grew like up until now, our goals have changed drastically.
I would just really love to play all over the world and like have my
I think they're gonna have that goal in no time.
music reach out to like as many people as possible.
And we would love to, you know, go on a world tour, get our music everywhere, and just kind of like share that love for music that we have wherever we can.
I can envision a stadium full of fans rocking out to The Warning. If we were able to help make that happen,
Definitely.
it would be, you know, just it would just be magical.
Future hope for the band is world domination.
Yeah, we want to tour the world. We want to melt
Keep it humble, right?
rock out on stage. We want to break stereotypes and show the world that dreams do come true.
My goal for them is that they become the biggest band in the world. You know, it sounds crazy, but it's actually possible.
It is
It's gonna
definitely
take a ton
possible.
of hard work, and it's also going to take some lucky breaks. At the end of the day, I think that that is within the realm of possibility. There's no reason that they can't do that.
Our favorite place we traveled as a band, I think we have each one different in mind. Okay,
Okay.
let's just say it at the same time and see if it matches up.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Argentina!
Ah! Okay. We got
Argentina.
Argentina was
Yes.
awesome. It was such a great tour.
It was our first time having like such a long tour.
We
2
were-
weeks.
It was like
2
2
weeks.
weeks.
It was
Yeah.
a 2
By the way, I've seen a lot of tour diaries after movies, etc. I want to go through all of that because also, like, I'm interested in a lot of things, but one of the main things are food and traveling through other cultures, which I'm not able to do at the moment. But just seeing people enjoy new cultures and different countries is just such an amazing thing to do. And if these people are also amazing, humble musicians, like, what's not to love? So I'm looking so forward for the travel vlogs, diaries, however you want to call it.
2-week tour with
It was our
Educativa,
first time there.
and it was amazing.
It was
Honestly,
absolutely
I am
amazing.
dying to go back to Argentina. The energy
It's
the
so different.
Argentina like public has, wow.
I mean, that was a few years ago. I'm not even sure, like, what parts of the world they have seen so far. I know they at some point have been at in Japan, of course. I'm looking for these vlogs a lot, but yeah, let's see.
Awesome. Miss you guys. COVID.
Once we signed with Lava, we didn't want to lose any time.
The band was about to go on a tour, and then COVID hit, so everything that they were working on got canceled. And so they shifted the target immediately to, okay, we're going to make the record now.
And David Bendeth was a name that crossed between
I mean, lucky in a way that you already had so much material that you could use this time in such a way.
options that they brought to the table and options that we had seen. Really quickly, it became, okay, let's get him on a Zoom.
We had a Zoom call with him. Like there was just like a connection. We shared the same vision.
We were actually very, very excited, very nervous as well, because we knew it was going to be like tough.
Teenagers are different than any other band. You know, they're very pliable.
We were really nervous. Looking back on that call, David was also nervous. Like, we see it. And I was like, why were you nervous? Like, we were shaking. You are David Bendit.
I can imagine how that Zoom call went when probably David said hello and the girls just started talking for 5 to 6 minutes about where they want to go with the sound, and this song probably should have this sound and whatsoever. And they just, okay, let's breathe. Can we? Okay, by the way, I'm David still, so yeah. This is how I imagine it, sorry.
Making an album in the middle of a global pandemic was a very unique experience.
We started lockdown on March. We had not left our house until September. We were really respectful of like the safety of it all.
Obviously, it was COVID, and the
Good.
first thoughts across my mind were, how is this going to work?
Especially in terms of lung capacity and everything, very good that they did that. I caught COVID in the first week of lockdown. It was horrible. And I still feel stuff from that time in my chest and everything. It really sucks. So glad that they did that.
But what we did was we were in the bubble.
We decided after a lot of conversations about it that we were going to record it in New Jersey.
We did COVID testing, we traveled with seat covers and masks and face shields and gloves,
Perfect.
antibacterial and sprays and wipes. Nobody on our team got COVID. We were all very careful and very professional. And I think, that just makes this album that much more special.
We were just in a little bubble all the time.
I think it kept us really in the zone.
It was definitely scary starting at first, because of course the questions come up of maybe if we wait another month, things will be safer. But it ultimately came down to the fact that the music was ready and it feels urgent, it feels relevant. We want to put this music out.
Working with David and Rick was a very new experience for us. Actually,
And especially they had already an online appearance for an audience, because they became viral and famous through their Enter Sandman cover, right? Or at least it accelerated their presence. So it makes sense in the time of COVID, where a lot of things went online, that they would work on that and also just do content. Perfect.
never worked like this much with people who only talk in English.
Their English is amazing. My Spanish
It
is
is.
absolutely awful.
It
The
is.
one time that I brought up a mispronunciation, I can't remember if it was Danny or Pow. One of them said something, and I jumped on it. And you just hear Allie from the back, your Spanish sucks. You gotta watch out. You don't know who's waiting in the wings to get you.
This third album,
So
I'm
savage.
so proud of what we did with it.
It came out very generational, very social. More than anything, I think we want to call out people to think.
It's about Gen Z, it's about technology, it's about communication. The new album is the world from New Warning's perspective.
Since we evolved as people, we changed, our views of the world changed, we grew up. I think our writing and our music changed and grew as well.
In this instance, you could tell that each one of them had spent time honing their craft and practicing. I saw a crack in the door where I could push them and I could open a world to them where they could be less rigid. Even though it's tough and they don't like it, they're built to withstand it. And so you could push them. And so I did.
It was great to see how our different opinions meshed and became this great album.
We really stepped out of our little box of songwriting.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, there was moments when it was extremely tense.
It was sometimes David, that's not how it is right now. And David was like, well, this is how it should be. And we're like, ah! We had a lot of conversations of
Yeah, the topic of how things should be and how they are. Yeah, it's the start of so much tension always.
about how to meet a healthy middle.
I guess the best way to say it's how you come back from that determines how much you've grown.
Working with them was incredible, and we all got to learn so much.
What a great
from
guy.
the process. I feel super confident about the next steps I'm taking as a musician because I got to learn from the pros.
All the work with David Bandit, it was a blessing. It was amazing.
I already missed them. We were with them for like so long. It was an amazing experience.
I hope that this record goes platinum and we all have plaques on our walls. You know, as far as for the band, I wish them all the success in the world.
We know that we have much to learn every single day. There's always something more.
My dreams and goals for them is for them to grow as players, to keep writing songs. But my biggest goal for them would be to stay in touch with who they are and never lose that.
Our love for what we do is so real and it's so big. Like, why have we worked so hard for so long to just stop here?
Sataniel, día exitoso.
Yay! Un día exitoso!
Yeah, I just realized in the end that I had the subtitles off again. Because why? I mean, I made a playlist. Or, no, it was a playlist. So please just keep my subtitle setting. But I mean, it was English for most of the part, so I think it was okay. I hope. I mean, probably some people need subtitles for me because my English is not that great as theirs. So yeah, what a great fun journey. I don't think I have a lot to add to that. I think we are now at 1 hour, so I talked a lot during that. I hope I didn't bore you. If I did, and if I sometimes said things that maybe weren't even finished or just don't make too much sense, just don't read too much into it. I had a thought behind that, but maybe sometimes I just forget to bring that thought to an end. I hope that's okay. I'm better in writing because then I have time to think. But the problem is with something. So if you're still here, you can still hear that. Something I said in the beginning of the video that I wanna step back a bit and just do one video a day. Because one other problem I had when I started this, I always wanted to answer every comment that comes my way because it's still crazy that people even comment on videos and want to have a dialogue or a discussion about something. And ironically, the videos I want to answer the most are also the hardest, like Brief, Lantern Light, Something Whispered, Follow Me. These songs that really get me emotional, where the most support is happening and the most amazing comments are there and I read them, but answering them in an appropriate way is really difficult. And which is also, I will not be able to answer every comment, but I could start improving by at least liking when I read them, because then you know I read them, which I usually do. And yeah, it's just something I wanted to say in the beginning, actually, but okay, now it was now. Because I said, I think I said enough during the videos, right? And yeah, I'm so looking forward to more behind the scenes footage, tour vlogs, and as I said in the beginning, I want to see a 2-hour baking video. Definitely. So, all right. I hope you enjoyed it. This was even longer than at the Sandman. So, why the hell are you still here? Thank you, and see you on the next one.